seems like a nice dude, if that makes sense. Like he's happy to
With
be
a point
here.
to prove as well, man. That's what I like.
Yeah, he's not like he's too gassed. You remember like when Norgard signed, that one was a bit too far. Like,
yeah, crying in
this
that.
guy
Big
was
him up,
just
but
saying,
come on.
yeah, this guy was like, "You man changed my broke out life." I'm not saying go that far in it, but like he seems like excited to be here, which is what you want, innit? Like,
and he backs himself.
Yeah, so obviously we'll have to divide the GA by like 2, but even still, when you divide the Belgium League GA, he still comes out like what 15 goals, 11 assists.
Yeah, there's an exchange rate, but at the same time, if you score goals, you score goals.
Right. That comes out all right. So I'm not gonna judge too much until I've actually watched the 90 minutes. I'm not really a compilations guy, to be honest.
Where like if you had to guess, yeah. Well, 1, would you sell Martinelli as well? And 2, right now, do you think Zola starts or do you think Martinelli starts?
Oh, it's hard to say because I don't know enough about him. I'd say Martinelli will start to begin with because obviously he's more familiar with what Arteta's on. He's more familiar with having to track back and whatnot. Which I know again for a winger, you're not looking at tracking back as your first attribute.
Well, it's necessary. Like if you're watching, football, we know that is the valid point.
Yeah, we know like he's already familiar with this, and then I reckon it's going to be a thing where Solis at half an hour here, 35 there, and then if you're cold, you're cold. You will go and grab your spot in it. Like it's not like Martinelli is, I don't know, Saka or something where it's if he's fit, he will play. Like basically no matter what.
You can grab that shirt on paper at this moment in time. It's free game.
Yeah. So would I sell if it meant you go and obviously end up managing to persuade Vini? Then I hear it. There's some sacrifices.
It's a necessary evil.
But like I'm not willing to chuck him away for many other wingers realistically. Again, unless Saudi come calling, because we can't sell for anything, bro. We're gonna watch here.
Look at the bread West Ham chopped,
bro. We would get like 30 mil for Martinelli, and we have nothing to do. And it's like, bro, I don't want to sell him for that amount because, like, he is someone that has contributed a lot to the club.
We need a similar fee to Anthony Gordon as a benchmark, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, from Saudi, because ain't no top 5 league kind of club paying that one. So I wouldn't sell, but if you told me he has to go in order to get Vini, then okay, cool. Nah, big respect. Again, it's been a great time. I'd like to keep him personally. I do think he's someone that can offer something different to, again, currently what we have, right? In terms of he's that kind of in behind rapid guy. Again, with all due respect, I'm not counting Madueke in this conversation. I'm talking about like Saka, and like Saka's obviously our best winger, but he's ball to feet. He'll take you on, either cut in or go down the byline.
Martinelli just straight aggressive with
the one that like on them counters, you just knock it and he'll be there. Now, obviously,
it's a good tool to have in the toolbox when you just accept Nelly for what he is.
He will do that. So you don't necessarily need Martinelli for that. But again, sorry to mention it, maybe I'm polluted by the way that we've been moving, but Martinelli really helps defensively, bro. Like he proper tracks back. And if you, let's say like on a random sub appearance, I don't know, you have to play right wing or whatever, Saka comes off and Vini's on the left wing, realistically Vini ain't doing that dog work back. But Martinelli will at least do it on the other side, or Saka, who already does do a lot of defensive work. So it's someone that's useful. I know his goal record is not crazy this last year or so, but that's his boy as well, man. They're buddies. So let's have a little Brazilian club and let's make Brazil great again.
Oh, well, and then I don't know, man. I tried it. I gave it all I can, man. I don't know, man. I think God has to help Brazil still. I don't know, man. I was humbled this World Cup. But I share your point. I know people don't like to hear it, and I don't like to hear it necessarily when we were talking about wingers tracking back. We've played Sunday League. When you say, when people are talking about wingers tracking back or how Cam presses, for me, that's like when man say, oh, I like Bobby, he puts a shift in. We need man that do that. Yeah. But that tells me there's a cap. But that's why I said for all of Martinelli's frustrations, and he would be in the category of, I would say, for me, you're available for the right price. I wouldn't actively force you out. I'd actually be trying to keep you because I'm wary of too much change, but you'd be available for the right price. I'd slap a couple man in there. That's what I mean. When you accept him for a tool as in a toolbox, and for me with Martinelli, bro, I don't think about 2022, 23 anymore. I don't entertain the conversations about making man a striker. I don't do any of that. The good, the bad, the ugly, like you said, when the game's open, you might get 1-2 clutch goals. You muck in defensively. You're our boy. I accept you for that kind of thing. And then it made me ask you, I wanted to ask you this as well, because obviously you're an armchair expert like myself. We're not knowing Berta and whatnot. But I'm conflicted when I look at this transfer market, bro, because on one hand, we've ended our trophy drought. We have got some money. obviously, I promise people we're getting to Vini. We're linked with all them guys. You know, we finally got here. We got to Champions League final. I do want stars in it. But then there's no value, quote unquote, on the market. Like, granted, if Morgan Rogers is 117 million and he banged for Arsenal, he bangs for Chelsea, nobody cares. But I do think people are getting zanged. So then I'm conflicted in that. I do want household names, but I also want scouts to do their jobs. Even a man like Vini, like, it's not like he was Cristiano Ronaldo where he's gone sporting, he's made a name for himself at Man United, and then whatever. They probably saw about 10 games. I'm joking a bit, but 10 games, and then they bought him, and then he's developed. I do kind of want to find those players before they become those. But then I'm a hypocrite because we are going to have those conversations about who's that, what's that. So, like, obviously you're not better, you don't know Arteta or anything like that, yeah? But, like, how do you navigate this market? Or how would you like the club to somewhat navigate this market? Because our money needs to
You're going to call me like a maniac, innit? But, like, again, as things stand currently, 27th of July, I'm all right with what's happening because, again, people know.
That's not maniac.
First of all, you're the champions, yeah. You've got bread. Everyone, it's not a secret. Oh, like, look at it, we got bread. Everyone knows. But
everyone's got bread as well.
You'd be an idiot to then like just cave into everyone's demands because then those clubs say, okay, you know what, no problem. So let's use like Newcastle for example. Obviously, they know we've got bread, but like if you start at an amount that you deem to be plausible or feasible, and then the player now says, "Yo, listen, I can't lie to you, man. I really want to go to the champions." Let me repeat, to the champions. By the way. A long time. I don't think I've said that since we've been on here. So I want to go to the champions.
Real every time I hear that, man.
Then you have like, look how he's smiling. Then you have like a bit more leverage rather than just whatever you want to offer. Boom, go and get that. And now you mentioned the, let's say, unknown type players. I mean,
like the Salah, you look like
Solis, for example,
but like Salah before he went to Liverpool, for example.
Yeah, but Solis would be in that kind of like realm, right? Less than Salah, because Salah, everyone kind of knew he was going crazy at Roma. Solis is like more so what you're referring to, right? It's just that people are mad again, like you said, because we don't really know much about him. If you go like
and people don't hear that when Premier League champions move like they don't really want to hear that.
There's those what is like Ecuadorian twins or whatever. If you want to go really, really young, I don't know how like 16 or 17 or however old they are. You got like a player, couple there, and then like we say, if you got the money, and from what we're led to believe, they're willing to do whatever it takes. Today could be their big day, because obviously if the meeting don't bang, listen, we will be there, and there is no limitations to what we're willing to pay. That's what I will be saying in terms of insider sources. So if that one doesn't bang, then okay, cool. That's where we're going to splash our cash on someone that is going to be a level raiser. We definitely need, in my opinion, one superstar attacker because we saw it against PSG. We can be a great team, and we are one of the best teams in the world.
But we need that individual brilliance.
Yeah, people like to, I don't know, troll or laugh or whatever. You have someone like Vini. Forget like even just the global impact and whatever. Just purely footballistically, yeah, you have that guy on your wing, and then Saka on the other one.
You're always gonna think you have a chance, regardless.
That's someone that can turn the game on its head by himself. So I would continue as it's going right now. Don't get violated and start overpaying for players you don't need. It's the same thing as what happened with Mudryk, innit? I'm not saying Morgan Rogers is Mudryk, by the way.
Thank the Lord, we almost got zanged.
Big but like, we're gonna, everyone was crying, oh my days, 100 mil, and he said, okay, we're not willing to pay that money. Chelsea are, no problem. Go and get Trossard for 25. So it's not too dissimilar what we're witnessing, but of course, I say this under the impression that we will eventually get a superstar, whether it's Vini or not. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the summer. If we don't, then yeah, howler. But I'd like to think we get, a couple a couple 70+ mil type guys. One in midfield and one in the front three.
I hope so, man. If I'm honest with you, of the names we've been linked with, Bruno Guimaraes is the one I'd say I'm the most confident in now. Arguably, I know there's many moving parts. Newcastle have seen a lot of key players go. We, as you've alluded to and eloquently put, there's a lot of things that dominoes that have to fall in place. And I know Arsenal fans don't want to hear this, but there has to be a degree of patience. Like, even if we were to sign Vinicius, it's not going to happen today. That's going to be dragged out. We were linked with Julian Alvarez. That's going to be dragged out. And it's obviously conflicting. And this is part of the reason why, as much as a fan, I do think we need superstars and level raisers, yeah. I'm more on go and find these stars before they become stars because the market you're overpricing, man. And also, if I go off tabloid reports, which granted they're not credible. Barcola favors a move to Liverpool. They've been putting the groundwork for years. But Vini, I think we could sell a project, and if we got the finances, great. But I think his priority is probably to stay at Real Madrid. We're told Julian Alvarez is, twerking for Barcelona, so we'd be his second choice. So then it's like, it's not that I don't want these players, but I feel like it's wasting time, innit? Like, it kind of is what it is. I wanted to ask you as well, like, how many signings do you genuinely believe we need? Because I think we need 4. I think we need another versatile defender. Granted, before Saliba's injury, I was more on finding a Timber, Tomiyasu, Swiss Army knife kind of guy. Now I kind of would like a right back that could play centre half, or ideally a centre half that could play right back. Not necessarily Konza, but he can tick those boxes, and therefore not John Stones because he's not going to be fit. I think we need a central midfielder. You said it earlier, to play with Rice or to cushion the blow if he's not there. It's not even I personally. The one that we'd all agree on is a left winger. Striker's a bit conflicting. If you could get me a Julian Alvarez, if you could get me a Krupi, if you could get me Vinicius, who can play up there, even though it'd be off the left, I'm all for it. But I'm willing to part that off to the side. I know there might be a backup goalie that we need and all this kind of jazz, but I would say you need that. Like, how many do you think we need?
Yeah,
what would be the absolute priority?
I'd be on the same boat. Obviously, we already have, Solis, so I would say.
Oh yeah.
The two big ones is the left winger and then the centre mid. Now, the striker one, obviously, again, you spoke about like not changing too much. If the opportunity arose for me to say, again, like Havertz, Gyökeres, thank you so much, I probably would. But that's a bit unrealistic. Like, I feel like a crazy left winger and a centre mid is doable, and then defender, like we say, with whatever 15, 20 M's you got left.
Scouts do your job like last year with Mosquera.
Exactly. I was about to say Mosquera was a class one. I'm sure you can do something similar again, or even someone that is, again, maybe even the other side in terms of like very much experienced, like, late 20s or early 30s, someone that has
in theory, John Stones.
That would give me at least 20 games, maybe, let's say, at a minimum.
I don't know about Stones doing that. Big him up though, but I get where you're going.
Then I'd be in agreement. So that would be, like I said, the 3 for certain, and the striker one is like I'd give it like a incredible window if it was to be obviously Vini, Bruno, and whatever defender. That would be one of, if not our best window like ever, despite it not being 6 players. I think we've got good depth already. You look like forward wise, or even in midfield and whatnot, attacking midfielders. We still got brothers like Ethan and that to see what he's on. Max Downman's another year. Play, well, I don't know. I'm just saying, but he can, innit? He
might just be a money thing. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
He might, and again, listen, it's not for me to obviously decide that one, but I'm just saying that there are options available also at home, right? Like I said, Max Dalman is another year older.
Yeah, but do you want McDonald's or you want chicken and rice at home? Like parents always said, I want McDonald's right this summer,
Yeah, well, listen, sometimes we know what's good for us and what's not good for us, Sometimes the rice at home is better for your body, innit? So
it is. And that's where I agree with what you're saying about the spending. I know people like to do the buzzword thing, like, show some ambition, we're Premier League champions, act like it. And I also hear what they're saying about spending and stuff, because I do understand if we've been briefed that Rodgers is our top target, yada yada yada, but there has to be a point that's unavailable, and that it is what it is. Declan Rice was worth 105 million to us. He's made that look cheap. Rodgers could have banged, but really and truly, I don't know in my heart, and I'm obviously biased to Rodgers because I really wanted it. My thing as well is, as much as I would have liked Rodgers and Vini and Alvarez links and this one, and they will make me feel some sort of way if we signed them, it'd be amazing. But I'm more on the profiles. If you can't get that, get the profiles. Get me a game-changing left winger. Granted, Joe Bloggs might come today and, he don't look like a star today. We're having conversations. But in the months to follow, he's on what we need him to be on. There could be an unknown striker. There could be an unknown centre mid. I definitely think where defence is concerned, we shouldn't be... It's not that we shouldn't be shopping in the Premier League, but like you said, Mosquera, somebody, there must be someone you can just scout, save a bit of quid. It is what it is. We tick over. I'm not really on the Konza thing, if I'm honest. So it's a techie one, man. In your heart of hearts, though, let's get into this, though, man. Like, in your heart of hearts, like, do you think we can get Vini?
Absolutely. The most important thing, like I said, is
I'm scared, man.
Is the end of today. I'm not saying we will. What I'm saying is, if he does not renew with Real Madrid, he will go to Arsenal. That, like, forget any other clubs or whatever. Forget, is the piece too much? Arsenal will pay the piece.
No, the bread's there, but he'll pay for himself.
Yeah, but my main issue is, and the reason why I'm only saying it's like 25% right now, is because the big 75 is him obviously doing the gimmick of like, see me a new contract, bro. I was like, not that I'm going to go to Arsenal, but like I'm going to leave, and then vice versa. The club are going to say, yo, either sign or we're already getting Diomande, so we can just, dash you away, like, no problem. My concern is that eventually, like, you know what, cool. I do want to stay here for my whole career. The fans love me. I love the fans, whatever. Let's just sign. But I'm hoping that Jose just... The thing is, Jose hates Arsenal as well, innit? That's one thing you have to factor in. He will do whatever it takes here to just slander Arsenal's name.
Just fuck up party.
Yeah, so okay, fine, yeah, have the peace. But obviously, it goes above Jose, innit? You have to factor in Perez and everyone else who, again...
There's a hierarchy over them sides.
So I feel as though he will renew with Real Madrid. But like I say, if he doesn't, I'd be extremely confident that Arsenal is the place that he ends up, because the wages will not be an issue. The price will not be an issue. They are willing to go to whatever lengths possible. I guess I can imagine. Because remember when Eze signed and he walked out, I was there that day. I'm imagining Vini walking out, bro. Out of the little tunnel.
See if we've done this.
Like I said, we got 24 hours, yeah. Obviously, nothing's going to be confirmed in that time, but within the next 24 hours, I think we'll know whether or not he's going to Arsenal, because he either... Today's the meeting, which I guess I don't know how their meetings work. It might be like a final answer thing today, or it might be a whole week process. I don't know. But certainly today, by tonight, we'll have huge... Yeah, you better turn the notifications on for Madrid Zone, bro.
Brother, I'm everywhere. Because people are onto me on YouTube, yeah, they're saying, oh, you're being so negative about getting Vini. It's not that I'm negative. And I'm going to say it again. Do I think we could sell him a project? 100%. I'm going to throw it out there. Real Madrid is... Anyone that's not Real Madrid is a step down. We know this and all of that. He's obviously grown up at Real Madrid. As Amenya said, they adore him over there. It could be a bit of mind games around the contract because Arsenal are serious again. All of those kind of things. They might, there's everything on the table. They could say he could want to run down this deal because his position strength is extended. He could go into the season with a year left on his deal and sign a new deal, or he could sign a new deal this week. Or what we all want is, the relationship's over, in which what Amenya is referring to, we get him and we're laughing, innit? It's not that I don't believe Arsenal can't get Vini or don't want him. It's just, even when I read the David Ornstein stuff, away from the headline, it's not being negative. It's just nothing's going in right now. There's no club-to-club contact. It's kind of contingent on if he signs a new deal. And then obviously, the only thing that gave me willingness is kind of what you said, because David Ornstein said it's got the approval of everybody from Arsenal. So if all these dominoes and
serious discussions have been had,
this is what I'm saying. Like, it will pay for it. It will pay for itself. But I feel the same way with Julian Alvarez. I actually think if Julian Alvarez is so dead set on leaving Atletico Madrid and Barcelona walk away from the table, and like I said, he's keen, he don't really care where he's going, I think we could intercept. The problem is it's a waiting game. I think we have the finances. I think we could sell him a project. We've dunked on his head back as well, so he knows about our thing. Other than that, I can't get excited yet. There's not really anything.
You know what it is? With Alvarez, for me personally, there's like a level of player that I'd be willing to accept knowing that you're not the first choice, if that makes sense. Like,
Vini,
certain players, Vini's like of the caliber where, hey man, big respect. If it's not a stepping stone, because obviously he's not going to go back up to Madrid, obviously. This is just, I guess, the end now, but he's the kind of level where you say, okay, cool. You kind of know you've been at a level above us, but we can also offer you something here as well, innit? And, boost your legacy.
Just like Ozil and Alexis.
Exactly. Whereas Julian Alvarez, if you are that desperate to go to Barca and it's not happening, it doesn't move me as much. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't quite move me the same. Now, one thing with Vini, if we're going to let's make it a bit of, a copium thing, innit? This World Cup, Mbappe has demonstrated that he is the guy. So when there's the whole beef about, like, who should leave, is it Vini, Mbappe, who's cutting? I don't think Madrid can get rid of Mbappe now. After that World Cup, you've bagged 10 goals, 4 assists. You've become the all-time historic scorer. Clearly, Mbappe is there to stay.
And he's getting more French dons as well. He's taking over on the sled.
Exactly. So if someone has to cut, I'm sorry, Vini, thank you for the Champions Leagues. From a Madrid perspective, thank you for the Champions Leagues that you had a massive part in. But we'll be parting ways with you now. We're not going to be paying you the 500k that is you're asking for, or 450, whatever, because obviously Mbappe is doing his thing. We've now got Diomande in there who can play on both wings. Rodrigo will come back at some point eventually.
That's who we should be sniffing around, but he's obviously mashed up his leg.
No, but even I can't his is even worse than the Alvarez one. Like, he is that much of a beg for Madrid that it's a bit too far for me, And obviously, I don't know, seeing him against Arsenal and turn me off, man. turn me off, bro. Like,
This is the thing is, where do we go from here as well? Like, because obviously there's not many players like Vini and that. It's just,
there's not.
if you can't get Vini and these kind of man, like I said, Rodrigo and whatnot, then when it's Nico Williams, who I actually like, even though he pisses me off, but when it's Rafa Leao, Nico Williams, Rashford, I'm sorry, I know fans wouldn't have it. Scouts, do your jobs, Carl. We've been looking for years for left wing. There must be something there.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to, and I feel sorry for the players in it because fans are enticed by this Vini thing in it. If you don't get Vini, then there's nothing really in it. It's like, there's nothing really you can tell me type of thing, really. Like, where do you stand on the Barcola thing? Because 150 mil, and I'm sorry, during the World Cup, I like Barcola. And I'm not saying he's not better than Martinelli he is, but I just feel, it's why people want Barcola. I think it's a shiny new toy. I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he is a good player. But a lot of the things you complain about, or people complain about with Noni and Martinelli, you're going to have that with him. Bro. And it's these people that are going to be the first to draw him out.
I think I've been saying the same thing for like a year and a half now or something about this Barcola guy, which is like one of the greatest dribblers I've seen in the last, 5 years or so, 100%. But you cannot miss like 8 out of 10 chances that you get, every time.
Missed against us.
Liga, and I'm speaking about, or Champions League, whatever. He's going to miss some big sitters and then bag. I don't think in the Premier League it's a scenario where you're going to get that many opportunities to miss that many chances and then, score in the 7th time of asking. Obviously, in the World Cup, he definitely improved his, I guess, completion rate in terms of, he was scoring a couple of bangers, like some good finishes as well. But in general, I know what he is, and I know what he is. And yes, like said, he can be an upgrade. But again, for me, 100 M's, you must be guaranteed to work, bro. And for me,
you got to be a certain caliber, man. I know 100 mil is the new 20 mil, but that's what I mean. And it's like what Wenger said. He's 23, 24. He's still young. The penny could drop. But I think you get into that scenario, which is why I said at the start with Martinelli and with Noni, you can also improve. But I kind of think you're reaching that scenario where you are what you are, if that makes sense. Like the good, the bad, the ugly, whether you have strong campaigns or not. If you're not ready at 23, 24 to be that caliber. Because if the penny dropped and all the negatives we've said or feel about Barcola, he'd be one of the best left wingers in the world. I just feel I'm yet to be moved over a consistent 90-minute basis from him on a consistent basis. Like, I feel the World Cup, he definitely had moments, but it never happened on a consistent basis. And man are saying we need to break down low blocks. Barcola's only highlights in a France shirt this World Cup came in running, space. Bro. This is what I'm saying. And teams, we know how teams set up against us. So for me, it's not that he's a bad player. It's just when people check their own rhetoric and what they need and actually what they're saying, it's not making sense to me. Like it's not. I'll be gassed. I'll support it. I want the penny to drop, but I kind of want to get away from if there's 3 actions to score. Noni's one of them. Martinelli's another. Like there's 3 actions to score. So first action would be you made a good run. Second action, you've taken a great touch. You're next to the keeper. See, when it comes to slotting it near post or far post and all of that, this is the frustrations because it's these kind of players, Martinelli, Noni, Barcola, they get a lot of chances. They always have that thing of making stuff happen. And for what it's worth, apparently Liverpool are the front runners because they've been putting the groundwork. But I will give the club this. I don't know Arteta. I don't know better. If we're saying it as armchair experts, they've got to be saying it. Until the window's closed, there's always something to rectify. As much as, let's just say we found an unknown entity that we signed today. We don't know too much about him. Where people are moaning. But in the next 6 months, a year, we see he's a flipping star and he goes on to do great stuff. I don't mind that. And that's my port of call if you can't get these stars, man. So we'll have to see. My last one for you then. How do you truly feel about Bruno? Because obviously being on TalkSport, I speak with a lot of Newcastle fans in it. And obviously them men are watching their players week in, week out. And it's like they rate Bruno. They don't want him to go and all of that stuff. The one thing they do say is he ain't got legs. Like, he ain't got legs. That's why I think him and Rice would complement each other well. Obviously, I want Bruno. I don't really care about that comment. He'll be a success. But, like, what do you make of Bruno? Do you actually think we're going to get him? Because I think he's the more likely of the... I would have said Morgan Rogers when he was at Villa, but, like, the Morgan Rogers is, the Barcolas, the Vinis. I'm more realistic about Bruno. Like, I don't want to say I expect it, but I actually expect this to be done. I'll be real.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get him.
Early on, I wasn't really feeling him, to be honest with you, initially.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about early in terms of, like, when he arrived at Newcastle, by the way. Like, I knew he was good, but he just came across as, like, a bit of, like a thug, if you will, at times, right? Which is, like, not my kind of midfielder. Then, as time progressed, I'm thinking, you know what? As always in life, when you have new information, you're allowed to change your opinions a little bit. And towards the end of last year, I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting it. Like I can see this guy is cold. And just by coincidence, remember the rumors started after like 2 weeks of the World Cup, I think it was. So I remember the first game of the World Cup or the first 2 games, I'm thinking, yo, Bruno, this guy maybe I was wrong about him. He's kind of cold. And then the
You
next
see
day
next to
after
the
that
other
video,
Arsenal Brazilians as well.
no, then the next day they say, oh, by the way, Bruno linked to Arsenal. I said, have I cashed in at the right time here? I've just now said, yeah, this Bruno guy, I'm kind of rating it. He was getting assists, linking up with Vini, by the way. Very interested.
Everybody
and
come
then the next
forward
day,
over here.
The next day they said, yeah, Arsenal linked to Bruno. I said, ooh, maybe I'm there now. So yeah, I'm hopeful. Obviously, again, I don't know what's happening. It seems to be, again, even above the managers and whatnot in terms of these discussions. So I can't
Owner to owner type of thing.
But if it is 75, 80, I would pay that. Again, I hear the legs thing, but when I say the legs, it's not like it's like Tielemans where he's running in quicksand. He's just not Declan Rice, which is fine. No one's really Declan Rice, or even I guess Tonali. To be fair, Tonali is someone that's rapid.
They even said with Tonali, his passing range ain't that good. The short range passing, which is I wouldn't think that. And even I remember going back further, even how they used to speak about Anthony Gordon, they couldn't believe it. That's why I think it's mad interesting when you speak to fans of clubs where they're watching Donny week in, week out. Now, I think our only issue with Bruno is money talks. Like obviously, it's gonna have to make sense. Our only thing is we should have probably tried to, and it's easy for me to say, but for argument's sake, like probably should have grabbed him before Tonali was going Spurs, because there's another reality. We've got Bruno. Me and you are doing videos about him, Lewis Skelly, Zubi, Rice. Them lot are doing the Willy Won't-y thing with Tonali. So maybe we could have got in there sooner. But yeah, man.
It's hard to know though, because the thing is, Tonali, obviously you have to factor in again things that are out of our control. Tonali didn't get in the World Cup. So it's much easier to have negotiations with a guy who's just baking off in, I don't know, in Italy or something on a holiday, where someone else is in the middle of, a World Cup.
And he was offered around in January as well. So he was trying to pull it out before Bruno.
I can't really blame them too much. And obviously you're not going to know someone's going to randomly come and I don't know, snipe like Tonali or whatever. So the Bruno thing, if they're confident to get him, I don't think it matters when, so long as it's before the season,
we're cutting it fine, mate.
No, we are, but he's not like he's going to need to adjust to the Premier League, right? So I don't mind if it's, a week or two beforehand. Obviously, it's not ideal. You'd rather it be, you say tomorrow, okay, he's done. But that's clearly not going to happen. They're going to have some kind of discussions about it. And again, this is a Premier League title-winning team. I must have to remind you. It's not easy to just find players to definitely upgrade or be part of a squad that are going to have the right role, accept whatever their role is. There is no guarantee he comes in and starts. Obviously, he probably should. I'd probably start him over Zubimendi, but he's not to.
You got to earn your stripes still.
Yeah, it's even like you see Henry talk about it when he arrived at Arsenal or even Barca when he was one of the best players in the world. He goes there and it's like, yeah, cool. Whatever I've done before, that was at Arsenal. That was with France. I've done nothing for Barca right now, so I'm gonna come in and I have to earn my place. So there's a lot of conversations to be had about people's mentals, if it's worth it or not. So we'll see.
What do you say to my last one on Bruno, to kind of wrap up this stream, One thing that pisses me off when people do that, he's 28, 29.
You're going to have to hold it by the ice cream van. Just apologies.
Man, bro, I clocked that, man. That's cool, man. This real life, bro.
They're yelling.
Right. It's a shame how much ice creams are these days, man. It's probably like £6 or something, man.
I see 99p flake at £4. Yeah, cool, bro.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's a madness. You're better off going to Central London and buying their madness.
You are playing it butter, you know what I mean? Listen,
cost of living is getting ridiculous, bro. Imagine you had a couple of kids, and they're £4 or £5, bro. You set back like £30 for your whole household, man. What do you make of the because one thing that annoys me is people move like 28 turning 29 is 99 turning 100. Like, oh my god, the resale value didn't that. I hear it. I therefore hear it. But sometimes there's exceptions to the rule. 2 as well, bro. He could still be here for 3 to 4 years. What we can achieve in that is ridiculous. 3, I know not everyone's the same, but you see a lot of players still playing and participating at a very good level in old age. Like, I think it's nonsense, but that is one pushback we hear.
No, I'm with you. The age thing is not really him being 28, 29, whatever. It's fine for me, bro. Honestly, if you're